Hi, Lee Phillips here again. Yeah, I'm still an attorney. I want to talk to you for a second about how you're going to tax a single member LLC. Basically, you've got three choices. And the neat thing about the LLC is you get to choose how it's going to be taxed. You check the box, so to speak. In fact, when the LLC was originally created in 1977 in Wyoming, the question was, how are we going to tax this animal? Well, it took 20 years for the IRS to come back and say, we don't care how you tax it. Tax it anywhere you want, any way you want. So you get to choose. You can choose to have your single member, that's one owner, okay? One owner, LLC, taxed as if it were a sole proprietorship. You don't get a tax ID number for the LLC. You use your Social Security number. And you file a Schedule C, everything goes onto the Schedule C, and then it passes down to your 1040. So, now wait a minute. That has nothing to do with asset protection. We'll talk about it. So, you can have it taxed as a single member LLC. You can also choose to have it taxed as a or an S corporation, or you can have it taxed under Subchapter S of the IRS code. You do not have a corporation, so it's not taxed as a Subchapter S corporation. It's taxed under Subchapter S of the IRS code. Yeah, you can choose to have your corporation taxed under Subchapter S, or you can choose to have your LLC taxed under Subchapter S. And single member, you are going to have to get a tax ID number. You can't use your Social Security number. Different taxation rules. So you get a Social Security number, you file under Subchapter S. That means that the company, the LLC, is actually going to have to file its own tax return. Now, Subchapter S doesn't pay tax. Everything passes through to the owner, you, and it will appear on a K-1, and you're going to file the K-1 with your 1040. So it's a pass-through entity. The S entity does not actually pay its own tax. The owners, in this case one member, you, pay the tax on a K-1. Now, you could also, so you can have it taxed as if it were a sole proprietorship. Your Social Security number goes on the LLC. You can choose to have it taxed under Subchapter S. You need a tax ID number. Everything passes through, and you pay tax on your 1040. Basically the same tax you paid as a sole proprietor. You could also have it taxed under Chapter C of the IRS code. And you've heard of a C-corporation. A C-corporation is the big boys, the IBMs, and all the rest of those guys. They are C-corporations. But one owner, single member, can still have it taxed under Chapter C of the IRS code. And I'm just going to tell you straight up, if you're having your LLC taxed under under Chapter C of the IRS code, there's probably something wrong, guys. I don't care what your accountant or your other dude or whoever your financial advisor told you. There are almost no reasons why you would have a small business, corporation or LLC, taxed using Chapter C of the IRS code. That entity, a C entity, actually does file its own tax return, and it actually does pay the tax. Anything that comes to you comes either as a wage, subject to Social Security, FICA, FUTA, employment taxes, all the rest of that crap, or it comes to you as a dividend, which gives you a double taxation. And I have a whole YouTube on getting money out of a C corporation, and it ain't good, guys. So why you have a C entity taxed under Chapter C of the IRS code? Why you have an LLC, single member LLC, and you have chosen to have it taxed under Chapter C? I don't know. you'd better be giving me a really good excuse, because I can't think of very many of them. So, single member LLC, you can choose 3 things. Have it taxed as if it were a sole proprietor. Your own Social Security number is the tax ID number for the LLC. You can have it taxed under Subchapter S of the IRS code. It does need an EIN, a tax ID, and everything passes through to you. It files a tax return, but it doesn't actually pay a tax. You pay it all on your 1040. Or you could have it taxed under Chapter C of the IRS code, and the answer there is no, you're not going to. So in my opinion, you've basically only got 2 choices. Lee Phillips talking about taxation of a single member LLC. Now don't forget to subscribe, because we're doing a lot of these YouTube videos and you get a notification when I put up a new one. I try and put up a new one at least once a week. I'm pretty good at it, and you can see that we've got quite a few of them here. And they're pretty straightforward. I'm kind of a straightforward type lawyer. I don't beat around the bush. Lee Phillips.